The choice of successor to the Dalai Lama, the spiritual head of Tibetan Buddhists, is a matter of riveting interest not only for followers of his religion, but also China, India, and the United States for strategic reasons.
We seeking genuine autonomy, not seeking independence.
The Nobel Peace Laureate, who turns 90 on July 6th, is regarded as one of the world's most influential figures, with a following extending well beyond Buddhism.
My life has been very fruitful. Worth the human life has been a worthy human life. The rest of my life I would dedicate to for the benefit of others.
Tibetan tradition holds that the soul of a senior Buddhist monk is reincarnated in the body of a child on his death. The 14th Dalai Lama, born as Lamo Dondup on July 6, 1935, to a farming family in northeastern Tibet, was identified as such a reincarnation when he was just 2 years old. A search party sent by the Tibetan government made the decision on the basis of several signs, such as a vision revealed to a senior monk, the Dalai Lama's website says. The searchers were convinced when the toddler identified belongings of the 13th Dalai Lama with the phrase, "It's mine, it's mine." In the winter of 1940, Lamo Thondup was taken to the Potala Palace in Lhasa, the capital of today's Tibet Autonomous Region, and officially installed as spiritual leader of the Tibetans. In his book Voice for the Voiceless, released in March 2025, the Dalai Lama said his successor would be born outside China. The Dalai Lama has lived in exile in northern India since 1959, after fleeing a failed uprising against the rule of Mao Zedong's communists. He wrote that he would release details about his succession around the time of his 90th birthday. The Tibetan parliament in exile, based in the Himalayan town of Dharamsala, like the Dalai Lama, says a system has been established for the exiled government to continue its work, while officers of the Gaden Phodrang Foundation will be charged with finding and recognizing his successor. The current Dalai Lama set up the Zurich-based foundation in 2015 to maintain and support the tradition and institution of the Dalai Lama, with regard to his religious and spiritual duties.
다 자철 베트가 식다 엔 디토네 야지 지 겨울부터 달라면다 간다 뒤주로 거에 야고 무튜니 대대하게 고 중심실에 연구를
The China still consider Dalai reincarnation something very important, so they have more concern about next Dalai Lama.
China says its leaders have the right to approve the Dalai Lama's successor, as a legacy from imperial times. A selection ritual in which the names of possible reincarnations are drawn from a golden urn dates to 1793, during the Qing dynasty. Chinese officials have repeatedly said the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama should be decided by following national laws that decree use of the golden urn and the birth of reincarnations within China's borders. But many Tibetans suspect any Chinese role in the selection as being a ploy to exert influence on the community. The medium of Tibet's chief state oracle, Thupten Godop, who will be actively involved in the process of the Dalai Lama succession, called Chinese interference ridiculous.
Lama suine nyangel debe jole yengsi ko de len yungure ta ine tergesa zamali naliya yengsi ko mangu she de wala hakba to lengwa de gyana khonde gi ta gyonuje gi yengsi le tiju chigi yoza ani america re europe re nganzo jizo nala yengsi ko mangu leng de do
Beijing brands the Dalai Lama, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989 for keeping alive the Tibetan cause, as a separatist, and prohibits displays of his picture or any public show of devotion towards him. In March 2025, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said the Dalai Lama was a political exile with no right to represent the Tibetan people at all. China denies suppressing the rights of the Tibetan people, and says its rule ended serfdom in and brought prosperity to a backward region. Apart from the Dalai Lama, India is estimated to be home to more than 100,000 Tibetan Buddhists who are free to study and work there. Many Indians revere him, and international relations experts say his presence in India gives New Delhi some kind of leverage with rival China. The United States, which faces rising competition from China for global dominance, has repeatedly said it is committed to advancing the human rights of Tibetans. US lawmakers have previously said they would not allow China to influence the choice of the Dalai Lama's successor. In 2024, then-President Joe Biden signed a law that presses Beijing to resolve a dispute over Tibet's demands for greater autonomy.
The important thing that the people should learn is the message of the Buddha. When the Buddha was passing away and his followers surrounding him and weeping and crying, when you are gone, the light is gone, who is going to replace you? The Buddha said, when I am gone, my teaching is my representative. He did not appoint any one single individual as a representative. So, to be correct, we should, think about this, not just thinking about one person, but the universal message, and message will remain forever.